Hey guys, today we are going to talk about mistake of law and monies paid under mistake of law. Now, monies paid by a person under a mistake of the law may be recoverable in restitution. What is restitution? Restitution is a body of law that can be described as dealing with the principle against unjust enrichment of a person at the expense of another person. To succeed, the plaintiff must show that he had made a mistake about the law. That means he was not aware of the true nature of the law. And the plaintiff, his mistake, caused him to confer a benefit on the defendant, the person being sued. In the Singapore High Court case of Management Corporation Strata Title and the Beers Jewellery Pte Ltd, the Beers Jewellery, which owns some penthouses on the top of a building, applied to the Management Corporation, which is the managing agent for the building, for permission to subdivide their 4 penthouses in the building, which was managed by the MCST, the Management Corporation. The Management Corporation imposed a number of conditions on the Beers Jewellery in return for getting the permission to subdivide up the 4 penthouses. These conditions include the Beers having to pay $200,000 to renovate the elevator system, the lift system, because according to the MCST, the subdivision would increase the usage of the lifts, because when you cut up 4 penthouses into let's say 10 or 20 smaller units, more people would be using the lifts. So that was their argument. They had to pay $200,000 to renovate the lift system. The MCST also requested for a lump sum payment of $170,000 for increased maintenance costs. They argued that the subdivision would create additional common property. So, the Beers Jewellery, being under a mistake that the Management Corporation was legally entitled to demand those payments, the renovation payments for the lifts, as well as the lump sum payment for the extra maintenance, under a mistake as to the law, paid $370,000 to the MCST. Sometime down the road, the Beers Jewellery was not able to make the maintenance payments, and so the MCST, the Management Corporation, sued the Beers for arrears for maintenance. And then the Beers Jewellery counterclaimed the MCST for the sum of $370,000 on the basis that the Beers Jewellery had paid out the $370,000 under a mistake of law. The High Court and Court of Appeal held that the Land Titles Act did not justify the Management Corporation's actions. So, the Management Corporation had acted ultra vires in making the demands of the payments to the Beers. In other words, the Management Corporation was not allowed under the Land Titles Act to demand extra payment in return for subdividing the 4 penthouses. The court held that the Beers made the payments under a mistake as to the legality of the demands for extra money, and recognized mistake of law as a valid basis for a claim under unjust enrichment. In other words, the Beers made a mistake as to the law and paid $370,000 to the Management Corporation, who was then unjustly enriched because it was not supposed to make those demands under the law. The High Court held that there was nothing to show that the subdivision caused additional maintenance and upgrading expenses to be necessary, and also found that the Management Corporation had acted wrongfully in making the demands. Therefore, the judge in the High Court, Julie Prakash, ordered the Management Corporation to repay the $370,000 to the Beers Jewellery as restitution. So thanks for watching this video on mistake of law and restitution.